Hello, and welcome to English for Philosophy students. Today we are in our 30th lesson in Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, and we are in our 17th lesson in rule number 4. Last week we ended with a Quixotic challenge. See if I can write the word Quixotic. Well, it's Don Quixote. I'm not sure how you spell it. Jotic. Quixotic. A challenge to do something which is impossible. Let us back up and reread a little bit of the last paragraph from last week. Let me go this way. Okay, we were being challenged not to focus on a small gain, like I want to get my boss's job. Also, not only to focus on a slightly broader gain, such as I will find something else to make me happy. Also, not to focus on only a slightly larger perspective. I will pursue something that makes me happy and my family happy and my neighbors happy and even maybe my enemies happy. But actually to focus on the broadest possible good, which is I will try for the improvement of being. I will try for something which will improve the world forever. So this is the improvement of being. It is a very high goal. And then then the paragraph spoke about believing that New Testament God and Old Testament God may be the same person. And if you believe that, you must begin to believe in the essential goodness of being, of creation. Previously, people believed Old Testament God was realistic. We know that disasters happen, natural disasters and tragedies, and Old Testament God was thought to send these disasters because of anger toward people who did bad things. This was considered realistic. New Testament God was portrayed as loving and benevolent and forgiving and graceful. And this God does not fit with the world which is full of tragedy. So if you decide to believe that there is only one God and New Testament God is true as well as Old Testament, with the bridge coming through Jesus Christ, then what you are doing is making a declaration of existential faith. Your declaration of faith is that God is good and His creation is good. Even if we see tragedy and disaster and suffering. So, this declaration of existential faith consists of the realization that the tragic irrationalities of life are actually counterbalanced by equally irrational goodness of being. This is a statement of faith. You are saying, if a terrible thing happens, I will believe that God has a plan and that the good that will result will be equal or greater than the suffering and evil that was done. This is a faith position. And then the Quixotic challenge to set your sights. That means to decide you are going to try to pursue the unachievable, changing the very essence of being for the better forever. And you're going to sacrifice everything, including and most importantly, your own life. Because you have nothing better to do. This is the best. Last week we ended with the song, The Impossible Dream. It was the quest of Don Quixote de la Mancha. It was the highest aim that a person could aim for. So, when they say there is literally nothing better to do, it means this aim is the highest. It is the best. And now we get into the subject of our lesson today, and that is, how can you do this? Assuming you are foolish enough even to try. So the question is, how can we do this? This is our transition into our next paragraph. Hold on. Okay, so now we will begin. It says, you might start by not thinking, or more accurately, but less trenchantly, by refusing to subjugate your faith to your current rationality and its narrowness of view. This doesn't mean make yourself stupid. It means the opposite. It means instead that you must quit maneuvering and calculating and conniving and scheming and enforcing and demanding and avoiding and ignoring and punishing. You must quit doing all that. It means you must place your old strategies aside. It means instead that you must pay attention, as you may never have paid attention before. Okay, let's look at this more carefully. You might start by, okay, so this word might tells us his attitude while speaking. He is not being very serious and literal. He is being colloquial. He is speaking to us man to man. You say almost flippantly, well, you might try this. So, you might start by not thinking. It's a lighthearted way of suggesting something serious in sort of a humorous way. So, not thinking is really not what he is telling us to do. It is a sort of funny way of introducing a more complex procedure that he will explain now, which could be described as not thinking. And we're going to start by not thinking. So this will be the beginning of our attempt to fulfill the Quixotic challenge of making the world better by believing in the goodness of being. Okay? So you might start by not thinking, or more accurately, but less trenchantly, by refusing to subjugate your faith to your current rationality and its narrowness of view. Okay, not thinking is equated with refusing to subjugate your faith to your current rationality and its narrowness of view. This refusing to subjugate your faith, that is the serious piece of advice that he is giving. Refuse to subjugate your faith to your current rationality. So, my faith, the faith that we are trying to hold, this faith is very lofty. It requires a broadening of perception, many steps from where we start. Most people are very narrow in their perspective. They know what they want. Maybe it's my boss's job. They know what they want. They are focused on it. And 98% of their field of vision is blind. They are focused on one narrow goal. And it is a petty goal. It's a low goal for a unimportant self-gratification. That is the narrow perspective most people start from. Now, from that perspective, the world sucks. It's not just Old Testament God and a dangerous world. It is a crap hole world. Because in that world, you don't get your boss's job. You try and try and try. You work harder. You work smarter. You do the darn guy's job for him. And in the end, he gets a promotion, and they bring someone in from the outside to replace him, leaving you out. From that narrow perspective, the world sucks. If you subjugate your faith to your current rationality with its narrowness of view, then you will never believe in the essential goodness of being. You will never believe in New Testament God. And your quality of life will be low and petty and small. So, you must refuse to subjugate your faith to your current rationality with its narrowness of view. When a person tells you the world is a bad place, life sucks, you must refuse that, no matter what we see with our eyes. Okay, so we start by refusing to confine our faith to what we can see in our narrowness. And this is more accurate than not thinking, but less trenchant. Trenchant just means hard-hitting and kind of like a sword stroke. So you might start by not thinking. It's a little bit of a sharp way of saying something. You can't say, you might start by not subjugating your thinking to the narrowness of your view. I mean, that's not sharp. but it's more accurate. This doesn't mean make yourself stupid. Okay, so some people might say that refusing to subjugate your faith to your current rationality is denying reality and closing your eyes and making yourself stupid. But he says no. This does not mean to make yourself stupid. It means the opposite. To make yourself broad, to make yourself smart, to make yourself sophisticated, to be more broad-minded than the normal person who says life sucks. It means, okay, so now we've started out with this doesn't mean make yourself stupid. Now we're going to have a bunch of it means, it means, it means, it means. Okay, so rather than make yourself stupid, let me see. Rather than make yourself stupid, it means instead of make yourself stupid, that you must quit maneuvering, calculating, conniving, scheming, enforcing, demanding, avoiding, ignoring, and punishing. Okay, so each of these verbs has a meaning. And you can look them up in the dictionary. But generally speaking, putting it all together, it means to quit or stop trying to control the world. Trying to control your own destiny. Maneuvering is trying to go around obstacles. Calculating is thinking very carefully about what will happen if you do something. Conniving is a sneaky way to try to get your own result through. Scheming is, again, thinking and making plans to achieve your own self-centered goals. Enforcing is beginning to use power to control other people and circumstances. Demanding is to say, I have a right. You must do what I say. Avoiding is to not listen, not engage. When someone comes and says, what about this? You say, I'm not listening. Ignoring, also another, you don't exist. I am in my own perspective and I'm going to stick to it. And punishing. Punishing is to do something bad to someone because they refused to do what you want. So generally, all of these have to do with you trying to control the world. So you must quit trying to control the world. So that is the first it means. Not refusing to subjugate your faith to your current rationality means to stop trying to control. Because being is good, God is good, and you can trust Him. Okay, the second it means. It means you must place your old strategies aside. Okay, so your old strategies, a strategy is your procedure, your way of approaching life, your habits, that which you always do. You must place your old strategies aside. It basically means quit or stop doing what you have done before. So maybe before you would make a 5-year plan and a 1-year plan and a budget to get there. Maybe that was your old strategy for controlling your life. Maybe that would be something to set aside. Or maybe your previous strategy was just to have no plan and just wake up every morning and react to whatever comes. That might be your old strategy. Whatever you have been doing all your life in your narrow perspective, you must be willing to put it aside and stop doing it. Be open to a new way of life. Okay, here's another it means. Instead of making yourself stupid, that you must pay attention, as you may never have paid attention before. Pay attention means give your full attention. It means listen. It means watch and observe. And do not fall asleep, but be observant of what is happening. That is paying attention. And it says, as you may never have paid attention before. In English, we say, do this as you have never done it before. That is a way of doing a superlative or a enhancement. So if you are running fast, you are running very fast, you're running as fast as you can. All of that has meaning. But if you say, he ran as he has never run before, that means he went faster than his fastest, faster than he has ever been able to run fast. He was faster than his best score in the past, by far. He ran as he has never run before. This is a common way of vividly enhancing something. So it's pay attention as you have never paid attention before. Okay, let us move on. And remember, this is the answer to the question, how can you do this? And do this is make the world better forever. Okay, let us move on. Let's see. Okay, our new section, and I believe this is the last section in the whole rule, so we're almost finished with this rule, is pay attention. Okay, I think this is his strongest piece of advice to us. We have spent, 17 lessons building the foundation for this rule of life, which originally was compare yourself to who you were yesterday instead of who someone else is today. So we have spent many weeks and months laying the foundation for this section. This is the advice he has for us. Let's see what it says. Pay attention. Focus on your surroundings, physical and psychological. Notice something that bothers you, that concerns you, that will not let you be, which you could fix, and that you would fix. You can find such somethings by asking yourself, as if you generally want to know, 3 questions. What is it that is bothering me? Is that something I could fix? And would I actually be willing to fix it? If you find that the answer is no to any or all of these questions, then look elsewhere. Aim lower. Search until you find something that bothers you, that you could fix and that you would fix, and then fix it. That might be enough for the day. Okay, so the first piece of advice is pay attention. Paying attention is something which is done in your head. It is not an action. It is not build a house or win a race or give to the poor. It is not an action like that. It is first a mental exercise. So pay attention includes focus on your surroundings, physical and psychological. So it's your physical surroundings and your psychological surroundings. Your physical surroundings are your room, your house, your family, your neighborhood, your workplace, your city, your country. Your psychological surroundings are the relationships in your home, the way you talk to yourself in your thoughts. Do you say, "You're a dummy. Why are you so stupid?" to yourself? Or do you say, I made a mistake. That's okay, and move on? Your environment at work. Do your coworkers encourage one another? Or do they insult and belittle one another? Psychological. Are you in danger from anyone? The police, your neighbors. All of this is psychological surroundings. So focus means look carefully, evaluate. Don't just allow it to recede into peripheral vision, which is blind, but look with focus at these things, at your physical surroundings and your psychological situation. Notice. Notice means you've picked something out. Oh, look at that. You have selected something to consider. That's what notice is. Notice something that bothers you, that concerns you, that will not let you be. This is 3 ways of saying the same thing. You are looking for this something. Maybe it will bother you. Like, for example, in my physical surroundings, maybe my house is dirty. That bothers me. Or something that concerns you. In my psychological circumstance, maybe I have a bad relationship with my sister, and I am afraid that she will call me up and yell at me over the phone at any minute. That would be something. Or something that will not let you be. This suggests something that you cannot ignore. For example, maybe you have a neighbor who wants you to clean up your yard. And this neighbor is bothering you every day, saying, "Clean up your yard, you slob," every day, and threatening to go to the police. They will not let you be, let you alone, leave you alone. Those are all phrases that mean they keep after you. So notice something like that. And then now, this something must be something which you could fix and that you would fix. Okay, could fix is a matter of ability. For example, if the problem in your house is that the carpet, the rug, is very filthy, very dirty, but you have cleaned it. You vacuum, you shampoo, you do everything you can, and it still looks terrible. This is something, maybe if you can't afford to replace it, you can't fix. But if it's something you can fix, that is could. Okay? And would. Okay, so would refers to something you have enough willingness to actually do. For example, maybe with the carpet, maybe I could fix it by using a shampoo every week and vacuuming 3 times a day. But I know I'm never going to do that. Then that means I wouldn't do it. It's a matter of will. So could is ability, would is will. So this something that we are looking for is something that bothers us or concerns us or won't let us be, and something that we can fix and we really are willing to fix. We might actually do it. Okay. You can find such somethings by asking yourself 3 questions. So he's trying to explain to us what level of thing we are looking for. So he gives us 3 questions, and we must ask ourselves these as if we really want to know. In other words, genuinely, as a matter of information, without defensiveness, just as if we were someone else looking at my life. If I am someone else, then I can ask these questions without worry that I'll have to fix it. So really ask the question genuinely. 3 questions. Number 1, what is it that is bothering me? What is bothering me? Number 2, is it something I can fix? Can I fix it? And number 3, would I actually be willing to fix it? So what's the problem? Can I fix it? And reasonably, will I do it? If you find the answer is no to any of these or all of them, look elsewhere. So, what is bothering me? The answer is not no to that. But is it something I could fix? If it's no, then look elsewhere. Is it something I would fix? If no, look elsewhere. And when you look elsewhere, aim lower. So, for example, if I say the carpet, is it something I can fix? No, because it is old and stained and it will look terrible no matter what I do. Well, then I need to aim lower. Instead of the carpet being clean, maybe I need to look at whether the house itself is tidy with things put away and not trash on the floor. That is lower. It's cheaper. It's easier than replacing the carpet. It is something I can do. So, if the answer to something you can do is no, then aim lower. Find something you can do. If the answer to would you do it is no, aim lower. For example, Maybe I am 300 pounds overweight. And what needs to change is I need to lose 300 pounds. Would I do that? No. Aim lower. Well, would I be willing to go for a short walk every day before a meal? Yes. Okay. Well, that's a small gain. Aim lower. Search until you find something that bothers you, that you could fix and that you would fix, and then fix it. Okay, so the first piece of advice under pay attention is to find something small enough, but it bothers you, it's bad, but it's small enough that you can fix it and you would, and then fix it. That might be enough for the day. We call this baby steps. You know, when you teach a baby how to walk, they take very small steps, then fall down. Then very small steps, then fall down. But pretty soon, they are walking across the floor. And pretty soon, they are running, and you have to run to catch them. Baby steps get you somewhere. Let's move on. I'll give myself blue. Okay, so maybe there is a stack of paper on your desk and you have been avoiding it. You won't even really look at it when you walk into your room. There are terrible things lurking there. Tax forms and bills and letters from people wanting things you aren't sure you can deliver. Notice your fear and have some sympathy for it. Maybe there are snakes in that pile of paper, and maybe you'll get bitten. Maybe there are even hydras lurking there. You'll cut off one head and 7 more will grow. How could you possibly cope with that? Okay, so this paragraph is a further example of what was recommended in this paragraph. In this paragraph, they wanted us to focus on our surroundings and notice something. So, he is giving us an example. This word maybe shows that this is one example of many. This is not the key thing. It is only one possibility which is representative of the kinds of things he is talking about. Maybe there is a stack of paper on your desk, and you have been avoiding it. Remember, avoiding is something we need to not do anymore. It was one of those long list of verbs of things we must not do. Avoiding. You have been avoiding it for a long time. You won't even really look at it. Even really. This shows the emotional attitude of ignoring and avoiding and resisting and fearing. You won't even do the easy thing, which is take a look. No. You won't even really look closely at it. You will not see it when you walk into your room. So you walk into your room like this. so that you won't see that horrible stack of papers. There are terrible things lurking there. Lurk is a very vivid word. It means a bad thing hides and waits. They wait for you to come so they can jump out and kill you and eat you. Lurk is the action of hiding and waiting to attack. There are terrible things lurking there. This colon suggests that the terrible things enumerated are, here comes a list of what terrible things may be there. Tax forms. We hate tax forms. They are hard to fill out. Bills and letters from people wanting things you aren't sure you can deliver. Bills are requests for money that they will put you in jail eventually if you don't pay. And letters from people saying, you must fill out this form. Go to this website. Add up all the money you owe. Then go to this different website and get an address. And you must send it exactly right or we will put you in jail. I had a bill like that today. It took me 1/2 hour to find out how much to send and what the address was and who to make the check out to. Simple pieces of information. I would be happy to give them the money, but they did not give me that essential information. Okay, notice your fear. Notice. What are we noticing? We're noticing something that bothers us. So we're going to notice the fact that we are walking in to our bedroom like this. And we say, oh, wow, I am afraid. Why am I afraid? And then you look, oh, it's that stack of papers. Notice your fear and have some sympathy for it. Do not say to yourself, you are a coward, you stupid person. You should have done that stack of papers before. You are a loser. Do not say that. Have sympathy for yourself. Say, yes, it is normal to feel fear of a stack like that, but I need to just look through it. Encourage yourself. Maybe there are snakes in the pile of paper. If so, you can have sympathy for yourself. Maybe you'll get bitten. So you are being realistic. You are acknowledging the truth that this world is full of tragedy and difficult things. You are not making yourself stupid like that other one over here, where it says, make yourself stupid. It's not that. You are not going to tell yourself, oh, it will be easy. No, maybe it will not be easy. Maybe there are bad papers in there. Figuratively speaking, snakes that could bite you. Maybe there are even hydras lurking. Here we have that hiding to attack, lurking there. What is a hydra? A hydra is a mythical beast that when you cut off one head, 7 more will grow. Maybe there is a tax form in there that when you open it, you will discover you must do 7 more tax forms. And then the question, how could you possibly cope with that? All of this goes back to this whole concept of have sympathy for yourself. It's true that that stack of paper may be a scary thing. It may be a tragic thing. It may be bad and difficult. So you're being honest and you are telling yourself the truth. And then you move on to ask yourself, is there anything at all that I might be willing to do about that pile of paper? So this is the would I fix it? Is there anything here that I can do and that I'm willing to do? Would I look, maybe, at one part of it for 20 minutes? This is a baby step. For me, I actually have stacks of paper like that, usually. And I usually tell myself, just go through the stack and sort everything out so that you can see what you are dealing with. You don't have to do it today, do anything, just see what is in there so that you will not be afraid. That's what I usually do. But here he is saying, maybe you will give 20 minutes. You'll say, okay, for 20 minutes I will take the papers off the top. Maybe I will deal with one bill, or one bill and one letter. Or maybe I will be able to throw away a lot of junk and find one or two things that are easy and fast to fix in 20 minutes. Limit the time. Maybe the answer will, hold on. Maybe the answer will be no, but you might look at the stack for 10 or 5 minutes or 1 minute. Start there. Baby steps. If you're not willing to do 20 minutes, maybe you will do 1 minute. You will soon find that the entire pile shrinks in significance. Shrink is this. So whereas it was a horrible hydra, now it may be a little mouse. It shrinks in significance merely because you have looked at part of it. Merely means only. You only had to do a small thing, look at part of it, and the whole thing loses its danger and fear. And you'll find that the whole thing is made of parts. The whole thing is made of parts. What if you allowed yourself a glass of wine with dinner, or curled up on the sofa and read, or watched a stupid movie as a reward? So you will find that almost every fearful task that seems huge is actually made up of small parts. And you could do one part and then reward yourself. This is a strategy for resolving big problems in your life through small efforts. What if you instructed your wife or your husband to say, "Good job," after you fixed whatever you fixed, so that you'll feel good? Like maybe you're going to fix the doorknob and you tell your wife to say, "Good job," after you do it. That will be your reward. Would that motivate you? Is that enough of a reward? You are trying to find ways to motivate yourself to do your small tasks. The people from whom you want thanks might not be very proficient in offering it to begin with, but that shouldn't stop you. Okay, so at the beginning of your attempt, to get your wife to say thanks, she may not be good at it. She may be kind of a critical person. But you should still try to ask her to help you. People can learn. Your wife can learn, even if they are very unskilled at the beginning. So she will get better at encouraging you. Ask yourself what you would require to be motivated to undertake the job. Okay, so all of this is about motivating yourself. In my case, at my work, I have to do a lot of boring, repetitive work. And I motivate myself by listening to podcasts. I say, I will listen to Ben Shapiro. That's one I like to listen to while I do the work. And so I look forward to Ben Shapiro and I don't mind doing the work. That's my reward. You have to find something that motivates you to do the small parts of a larger task. So ask yourself what you would require to motivate yourself to undertake the job honestly, and then listen to the answer. So you must be honest with yourself, and you must give yourself the rewards that are necessary. Don't tell yourself, I shouldn't need to do that to motivate myself. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't say, you should do it because it is right. Just get to work. It just doesn't work. It didn't work in Russia for communism or China. It works to give reward for labor. So reward yourself. What do you know about yourself? You are, on the one hand, the most complex thing in the entire universe, and on the other hand, someone who can't even set the clock on your microwave. Don't overestimate your self-knowledge. So, when you say to yourself, you shouldn't need a reward, you don't know yourself well enough to say that. You are complex. But at the same time, you don't even know how to set the clock on your microwave. So we are both unbelievably lofty and unbelievably comic. Don't take yourself too seriously. Find a reward system that works for you. Don't overestimate your self-knowledge. Okay, we need to stop there. And I don't know if we will finish next time, but we are doing very well. I'll see you next week.